Everyone talks about visualizing your dream life, creating this beautiful future. Think about this thing that you want to attract into your life. But what nobody talks about is what happens if you have been stuck in survival mode for so many years and it is so challenging for you to actually visualize your dream life. And when you're in survival mode, it is challenging to see a future. It is challenging to see anything beyond what you are experiencing now. That was actually my dilemma. I have done the retreats, I've done the events, I've done the workshops online, I've done coaching, I've done all these things. And the one thing that would always make me freeze up is when somebody would say, visualize your future. Visualize your future so you could feel it and call it in. But anytime I would get stuck. I was stuck in survival mode for so many years. So I was constantly rushing, running, feeling like I wasn't present. So to try to create from that space of visualization felt so challenging, because when you're in survival mode, it is so challenging when your body and your mind believes that you're running away from something dangerous. Even if your life is not in danger, whatever stresses that you have in your life could literally put you into that mode of survival mode. So I did this one thing and it literally helped clear so much up for me compared to all the things I've ever done in my life. If you're feeling stuck or unclear on what your purpose is, if you feel overwhelmed and you feel like it has been hard for you to actually visualize what you want to create into your life, into your space, this video is so crucial because it helps you get very clear on all the things that you want to attract. What helped me become super clear on my vision, being able to see my future so I could start manifesting and feeling it in my body, was creating an anti-vision. This literally shifted so much inside. If you have never heard of an anti-vision before, let me explain. An anti-vision is basically the opposite of what you would love your life to be. So creating from an anti-vision is so powerful because you literally get to some really raw emotions. The prompt that I personally followed, and it was so good, was, what does your life look like in 5 years from now if you were unsatisfied with your life? I decided to do it around these different areas. It was health, relationship, community, money, spirituality, my career, my personal growth, family and friends, health and fitness, and fun and recreation. So I literally asked myself, how would your life look like if in 5 years you were completely dissatisfied with blank? And then I would put spirituality or partnership and love or money, career, whatever it is. And I just got really detailed in each category. And let me tell you, just doing that, I was crying because recognizing all the things I did not want in my life, I was like, holy shit. It literally gave me such clarity on everything I don't want. And sometimes we have to create from that space. I'm a really big believer in sometimes life gives you the things that you do not want, so you could recognize it, so you could change it. That was literally perfect for me because I learned that way. When you create from a place of darkness, when you could look at how bad something could get, a lot of the times our mind could already go there. I had the habit of worrying a lot. I always would worry about the things that would happen, but I never put it down to paper. So being able to actually see myself write out all the negative things that could possibly happen if I don't fulfill or follow through on the things I want to create for my life caused such a big aha. So many of the categories made me just like this, super afraid. I don't want that. And just being able to recognize I don't want any of this that I'm writing down helped me see so clearly what I do want. So when I wrote down partnership, writing down, oh, me and my husband, we don't communicate, or we don't go out on dates, or just making that list, I was like, okay, these are the things we have to continue to do, because if we don't continue to do it, if I don't show up, this is literally what could happen in 5 years. Another one for me that was really impactful was family and friendship. And for family, I'm so close to my family, and they are the best family I could have ever asked for. So writing down in 5 years' time that we are not close with each other, I barely see them, we barely speak, really pulled on my heartstrings. And another one was friendship. I tend to be very independent and solo. So when I wrote this, I want to say it was about a year ago, I wrote down, I have no friends. I am still independent woman. I am taking everything on my own. I don't ask for help. I realized like this is not what I want. Even though I was going down that pattern at that time, feeling like, okay, I got this. I don't need no help. I don't need any of this stuff. Being honest, like, no, I do desire support. I do desire to have a sisterhood. It really like put me straight on, okay, if these are the things you want, you have to work for them. They're not just going to come to you. And manifestation is a real thing, and they can come to you, but you also have to put in the effort and you have to put in the action. And since then, I have attracted so many beautiful women into my life. And I know now that 5-year anti-vision is not going to happen, because I felt that deep pain of being alone and not having the family I want, not having the relationship I want, not having the finances that I desire and the business I desired. Feeling all the things that I did not want really sparked something so huge in me that I was like, fuck all of that. We're gonna do all of this. Once you create your anti-vision, once you write all of that out, what's really empowering is to write on the next page every single thing that is the opposite of what you wrote that you don't want. And that brings so much more clarity. Just seeing the words out, writing the words. There is so much research behind the power of writing things out. When you can start taking what's in your mind and putting it down to paper, it begins the process of creation. We are creating in our mind, but when you start to put down those thoughts onto paper, we are creating in the physical. So when you create your anti-vision, you feel it, you don't like it, you move it to the side. And then on the opposite side of your paper, you're going to write everything that you want to be true in your life. Everything that is opposite of that anti-vision, when you start to become clear, it is amazing. When you start to become clear, it starts to help you manifest what you want into your dream life. I don't want this kind of life. I really want this. And you start putting it down. You could start to see it. You see it down on paper. You start to embody it. When you start embodying it, when you start to see it, you can actually start visualizing it. You could start to feel it in your body. That's how you attract. That's how you start to manifest things into your life. I currently got into a community. It's all about visualization, manifestation, personal development, and it's all women. That is literally what I have been desiring for a while, and it became so clear to me when I did this again. So I did my first anti-vision a while back, and now I do anti-vision in little spurts in certain areas of my life. So for community, I put down all the things I didn't want in my community, and then from there I was able to see, okay, what I actually desire is women who are into personal development, women who are ahead of me. I want to be a small fish in a big pond so I could expand and so I could grow. I want to be in spaces where women are doing amazing big things, a community that had diversity, specifically women of color, being able to talk about manifestation, law of attraction, because this is literally what I'm learning every single day and I love it, and I'll be sharing more about it. Just getting clear on that. At the beginning of the year, I found that group. It found me. I found it because I was able to get clear on what I wanted, and that group was literally in my face for a whole year, but I wasn't able to see it until I got clear on what I wanted. And when I got clear, it made itself visible to me. And I just feel so, so grateful. I am in a group of women who are so powerful, so inspiring, so loving, so caring, and it just feels so good because I know from my clarity, I was able to attract this into my life. Please try this exercise out. Let me know how it goes. Write down in the comments any questions that you may have or any other videos you would like to see from me. And I will be seeing you very soon. Thank you for watching. Mwah.